Chemical changes and reactions. I'm sure you are eager to know about what are chemical changes, what are the conditions which cause the chemical changes, and how do we know chemical changes happen. So in this lesson, we will study in detail about the types, the different chemical changes, the factors which cause, like for example, close contact, solution. Some chemical changes happen when the chemicals are in close contact. Some chemical changes happen when they are in solution form. If they are in solid state, the reaction will not happen. Then electricity, light, pressure, then catalyst, heat, and sometimes sound can also be a factor or condition which causes chemical change. Otherwise, the compound prefers to be in solid state. Then how do we know that chemical change has happened? So there are some indications or parameters or observations, we can say as a simple one, where evolution of gas, formation of precipitate, or the two gases are changing the state, we can say, into a different form will indicate yes, or exothermic, endothermic, if these are the major ones which we can find out as the chemical changes happen. Then we'll learn in detail about what are the major chemical reactions which are useful. Sometimes you observe in your everyday application also. So 4 major chemical reactions we are going to discuss are synthesis or direct combination, decomposition, displacement, and double decomposition. Then there are some other reactions also which we find in everyday application are exothermic reaction and endothermic reaction, photochemical and electrochemical reaction. So let us analyze each in detail. So before we discuss the conditions, remember chemical change, when we say it is irreversible, permanent, it gives alteration of molecular composition, new substance is formed, and energy is either absorbed or evolved. So this is only a chemical change because there is somewhere the molecular composition alteration has happened, and for that major factors which are or conditions when we say mixing or close contact. Like iodine and phosphorus are the 2 chemical, if we pick up as an example, they show vigorous reaction because they show in a different way just by the close contact, not even heating, but only by keeping it as a close contact show a vigorous reaction. Lead nitrate and potassium iodide solution, both are colorless in nature, but when we mix them as a close contact, one gives a yellow precipitate, which is lead iodide yellow precipitate is formed. Solution form is where the reagent uses sodium hydroxide, copper sulfate. Unless you dissolve in water, they won't show any reaction. They form a compound as copper hydroxide. This is precipitation. But again, everything should be in the soluble form, then only reaction happen. A blue color salt, a colorless pellet, or white color we can say, looks in bulk, but when they are dissolved in water, they form, NaOH forms a colorless solution, copper sulfate, the light blue solution, on reaction gives a copper hydroxide as a pale blue precipitate. So solution form only shows a major reaction for such examples. Then heat. Now heat, when we say, for example, copper carbonate. Copper carbonate on heating gives copper oxide plus carbon dioxide. So heat is the major factor which causes decomposition without heating. This is green in color. Copper carbonate is green in color, but on heating changes to black. So how is this change is happening? It's only because of heat. The next reaction is light. Now light, when we say the condition light, or where light can be a major condition for the reaction, like one major example is photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. Then decomposition of silver salts. So photosynthesis is a reaction where green plants prepare food, that is carbon dioxide, water vapor is taken from atmosphere, or by using the water which is absorbed by plants, and then green chlorophyll present in green leaves with the help of solar energy prepares glucose and liberates oxygen. So photosynthesis happens only in the presence of light. Some reactions like silver salts show decomposition when they are absorbed, kept at light. Another one is hydrogen and chlorine show in diffused and direct sunlight an explosive reaction. So that is also showing a factor major as which is causing the reaction. So mixing of solution or mixing or close contact. Second is solution. Third is light. Third is light, heat, and four is light. The next one is electricity. Some reactions happen when there is electricity supplied. So electrical energy breaks the bond of the compound and liberates or shows a final chemical change, like acidified water. So when we pick up water which is acidified, generally the acid used is sulfuric acid. So sulfuric acid, 1 or 2 drops are added to the non-electrolyte pure water to make it strong electrolyte acidified water, and when electricity is supplied to it, or we can say electrical energy. So electricity is the major condition. It decomposes water to hydrogen and oxygen. 2 volumes of hydrogen, 1 volume of oxygen. So this will show a different expression as gaseous substances are formed. Then another reaction is pressure or condition pressure. Nitrogen reacts with hydrogen. Pressure has to be 200 to 900 atmosphere. To 900 atmosphere will bring the gas molecules closer and prepare another important gas as ammonia. The reaction will not happen if the pressure is the normal atmospheric pressure as 1. So this is a typical example. I suggest when you are answering such topics, please give one example each where the examiner knows that the example indicates the pressure is one of the major reason. Catalyst is one of the major. When catalyst is added, the rate of reaction is increased or improved. Like the same one, nitrogen and hydrogen reaction for preparing ammonia. If we take finely divided iron and add promoter molybdenum, ammonia yield will be higher or better. Or while preparing oxygen, if we pick up manganese dioxide and add as 1:4 ratio, 4 parts of potassium chlorate, 1 part of manganese dioxide, it forms oxygen quickly or easily. So that's called as the catalyst or a chemical substance added to the reactant to increase or alter the rate of reaction. The catalyst does not involve in any chemical reaction. So for example, we say potassium chlorate is the reactant, manganese dioxide is the catalyst. It forms potassium chloride plus oxygen. So here the role of manganese dioxide is a catalyst. Now what is a positive catalyst and a negative catalyst? Positive catalyst is which improves or increases the rate of reaction, but negative catalyst will retard the rate of reaction. Example for reaction as sulfur dioxide oxidizes to give sulfur trioxide. The catalyst used in the reaction is vanadium pentoxide. So, vanadium pentoxide is a positive catalyst, increases the rate of reaction. Same way, negative catalyst, when we say it is some reactions where phosphoric acid or arsenic compounds, if they are present in any chemical reactions, they have to be removed, otherwise they will start lowering the rate of reaction, or they act or behave as negative catalysts. Similarly, like some enzymes we have in our own body which are negative catalysts. Next one is characteristics of chemical reactions. Now here one more can be pressure is one, then it can be the sound also. Sound can also be a factor where some chemical reactions like acetylene decomposition. Acetylene or ethine is a hydrocarbon used as a fuel used for artificial ripening of fruits. Can also show acetylene decomposition can happen in the presence of sound. So, a quick recap: close contact, solution, light, heat, electricity, pressure, catalyst, all these are the major conditions which are responsible for any chemical change to happen. Otherwise, the chemical compound will prefer to be in the solid state. Now, let us go for the next one, characteristics of chemical reactions. How do we know that chemical reaction has happened? So, for that major are the four. Evolution of gas. Like some chemical change we can understand only when the gas is evolved. Say for example, we pick up zinc granule in a test tube, add dilute acid to it, it gives out with brisk effervescence a colorless gas which is hydrogen. Then we pick up a carbonate salt and add dilute acid to it, with effervescence we find out carbon dioxide gas is given out. We pick up as simple as sodium bicarbonate in everyday application and add citric acid to it, that is the ENO or antacids when whatever we consume for relieving acidity, with bubbles carbon dioxide gas is given out, which indicates the chemical reaction has happened. So, it's so very important. Evolution of gas is the important characteristic or a significance or significant change observed that reaction is happening or is completed. So, first one is zinc plus sulfuric acid gives zinc sulfate plus hydrogen, indicated as gas. So, this indicates or shows that the reaction is indicating completion of it because there is evolution of gas. Then change in color. Some chemical reactions you can say as characteristic once they change their color, like when we say we add Fe and to this iron is taken and added to copper sulfate. The reaction will be FeSO4 plus CO. Iron filings are taken in a test tube or in a beaker. Copper sulfate blue colored solution is added to it. This is blue. Reaction happens is this becomes a pale blue, pale yellow or straw colored solution. Pale yellow and this is reddish brown. Reddish brown copper will be observed as a sediment in the apparatus which we pick up. So, I repeat, pick up iron filings, take blue colored copper sulfate solution and mix them. After some time we observe the color of copper sulfate blue changes to pale yellow. Actually, it is green vitriol, but when you add it to water, it gives a light yellow color. So yellow, light yellow or straw colored solution will be formed, and as a sediment or at the bottom of the appliance or chemical apparatus picked up, it will change to reddish brown copper. So just change in color shows displacement reaction has happened. Formation of precipitate. Now formation of precipitate is if we pick up ferric chloride, and to this we take ammonium hydroxide solution. Ferric chloride is the reactant, ammonium hydroxide solution is added to it, this is solution. It will react to form ammonium chloride and ferric hydroxide. Ferric hydroxide is a reddish brown PPT. So precipitate shows chemical reaction has happened because the indication or significance or which is showing completion is the precipitate which is settling down. Fourth characteristic is about the state. Now what do you mean by state of or change of state? State change or change of state. Change of state, when we say, what happens when the two reactants are reacted chemically, like ammonia gaseous, hydrogen chloride gaseous react to give solid ammonium chloride. So there's change of state which has happened, indicating that yes, chemical change is there. So ammonia reacts with hydrogen chloride to give ammonium chloride. So ammonia is a gas, hydrogen chloride is a gas, the product is solid. So change of state has indicated that yes, chemical reaction has taken place. Two gases sometimes react, and then if they change to liquid, then it's a change of state which indicates the reaction has happened. So when we say it in this particular topic 1, we have discussed so far about what are the conditions which are required for the chemical change to happen and what are the characteristics of chemical reactions. Now